Finally, Sammy Gyamfi, the gold man, the gold seller, professional gold seller, Obekasa. Sammy Gyamfi have a reply or Okatakyie Afrifa mensa. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, IMF, any obi biala say ever since IMF for reporting by and or can be Sammy Gyamfi I reply omunina. I have Penyah block media. Best was say need him. Obe like video, no that my subscribe button, and click notification icon for latest update. Na bet you that why join them mama. E will comments, expense of baswa. No share for any biashe. Enti about 2 weeks near. Yet the crow and cabin no was a report to be about as if IMF for honomo. I much mu say gold board na buy 2025 in about Ghana to the sum of $214 million. Emma do be the Ghana Hanmo media no so. Emma buy some Vegas so they be no credit. And no credit that gold board. We've never made any losses. Na impokra nyamfa so. But some of you can no. I'm one of if you say some of you can ya. Anna more findings. As I say about one. How can you say gold bia some of you eton ya no. Per ounce bia no olusi $150 per ounce. And exactly who said for every 7.6 billion worth of gold sold, Bank of Ghana take $38 million. After no year service fee of $19.6 million. And I'm supposed to pay motivated hono eno kosu ye. E ma be ka kan say Sammy after that dan nsu nya botre nsu nya botre kora ye jandru ba bia nya botre. Na busia e wo mu ana sa attack na e ba bi say obeka ya Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. E submission e buy e me hokra na obeka ya Bower Ross Company Limited e ba mu as a ko hu say e Bower Rock ana e to Ghana hanum nyina gold in place of gold board because him say gold board na yenim but say comment say Bower Rock ana e to Ghana hanya one is so aggregator of all gold in Ghana one e to gold issue licenses any ade ema obia e mine e wo Ghana hanum ema Kojo Oppong Nkrumah kwa be expose Sammy Gyamfi ema busa questions on that ema because of that no Okatakyie Afrifa mensa bones as the suggestion e baaye na e ho no ana Sammy Gyamfi Ebeka saye, on the 29th of December 2025. Ebeka said, I am gathering my facts and speaking to the technical people. I will reply all the haters on January 5th, 2026. Kona ye be renew year mu. Same you so do be can be a wonka wa beremo. No. Or gather information. Na nyame aduma 5th January. And obeba be reply omo nyina. Na ye twen senka few janke 2 days ago ko na ye na ene Saturday ye third ni the fifth no ebe ye Monday the ye twen senka Monday but some dem say they want me ntwen ene na ye Saturday no ye third no ana some dem fi agada the fact na wi ene ne wa be reply labusia wa reply IMF I reply Okatakyie Afrifa mensa bonsu wa reply Kojo Oppong Nkrumah ene NPP TikTokers no ensem bi obi aka fan ho bia no some dem fi I reply omu nyina.
Bower Rock Company Limited is a company incorporated under the laws of Ghana. It was incorporated specifically, I believe, on the 15th of January, 2015. 14th or 15th of January, 2015. So it's a 2015 incorporated company.
Okay, so I confirm that we have seen that incorporation certificate and certificates commence business. And as we do the show, we'll be showing you some of these pieces of evidence because we have them.
And in fact, I have, when I'm done answering this question, I'll give you all the evidence to the answers I provide. So first of all, it's a company incorporated under the laws of this country in the year 2015, meaning that it's been in existence. Is dealing in precious minerals, among others. So when you hear people say that, oh, this company has nothing to do with gold trading, it was not registered for that purpose, it is not true. And I'll give you the evidence for you to know that, yes, it is registered to carry out a number of activities from mining to farming to dealing in general goods, but one key principal activity of the company is dealing in precious minerals. Now, this company is also not a mushroom company that just, surfaced in the gold trading space. As a matter of fact, it was licensed by the Precious Minerals Marketing Company to deal in gold in the year 2016. 2016.
The predecessor of the gold board.
Yes. And since 2016, the company has renewed its gold trading license every year until 2025. Every single year, the company has renewed its gold trading license. Now, this company we call Bower Rock has been one of the major gold suppliers in the country. In fact, they were one of the major gold suppliers to aggregators under MIFs. When I say MIF, I'm talking about the Minerals Income Investment Fund established by the NPP. The MIF's Gold for Reserve program in the year 2024 when the NPP was in power. And I'm going to give you evidence to that. So now let's go to the evidence. These are the company's registration or incorporation documents showing that it was first incorporated on 14th January 2015. As I'm saying, all these copies I'll leave with you. Okay. I've also given soft copies to your producers. They can project it. Again, the company updated its incorporation on the 20th of November 2023, right, and became Bower Rock Company Limited. It was initially Bower Rock Limited. The certificate is also here. This was 2023. Then these are the articles of incorporation of the company showing that its principal activity is what? Number 1, mining. Number 2, farming. Number 3, construction. Number 4, trading in general goods. Number 5, dealers in precious minerals. Number 6, oil and gas. Number 7, import and export of general goods. So that is the evidence.
Why is it necessary to be exhibiting the incorporation documents to show that they were incorporated on 14th of January 2015?
Yeah, because some have suggested that Sammy Gyamfi just went to Gold Board as CEO and decided to appoint a sole buyer of all the gold that Gold Board has been buying. And the company we have appointed is a company that was incorporated only in 2025. The NPP has been making that claim. And that company is even a company registered for the purpose of farming and fishing. It has nothing to do with gold trading. So we need to educate Ghanaians accordingly. No, hold on. No, please. This is one-on-one. Hold on. So it's not your time yet. Now, number 2, let me give you the evidence. This is the first PMMC license given to the company dated 10th March 2016, expired on 9th March 2017.
A year after its incorporation.
A year after its incorporation.
It got a license from the PMMC.
To deal in gold.
Okay.
A few licenses to show that they were renewing and very active from 2015 when they were incorporated to 2025. This is dated 14th February 2020, another license from the PMMC. This is another license from the PMMC dated 19th October 2023, and there are many others. Again, let me give you evidence of gold trading work, significant gold trading work done by this company. Now, I told you that the NPP under MIF rolled out a Gold for Reserve program in 2024 on the instructions of the then Vice President, Alhaji Bawumia. The main aggregator, one of the main aggregators for MIF. First of all, let's talk about the benefits.
Cost and losses.
I want to talk about the benefits. Then I will tell you when we say cost, G for our cost or loss, what it is.
Okay.
And I will tell you how it can be
quickly.
reduced or eliminated. Number 1, let's assume we maintain that the Bank of Ghana is right. We must wait for the external audit before we can make any specific pronouncement on losses. It's important. Because any figure you throw out there may prove to be inaccurate after an audit is carried out.
The IMF did the wrong thing?
Oh, I think that, well, because they did a fifth review and they have to give some form of report, you can't blame them. But I think that they should have qualified that figure and stated that it is tentative and subject to audit. I think that should have been, objectively speaking, no disrespect, but I think that should have been the approach. But the issue, what are the benefits? Assume, let's even grant them, we've incurred that, and let's even grant Kojo Oppong Nkrumah $300 million. That is the cost. What has been the benefits? $10.8 billion foreign exchange inflows. $10.8 billion. Because of that, we have met our foreign reserve target for 2028 in 2025, 3 clear years ahead of time. When NPP was signing on to the IMF program, they said they will attain $11 to $12 billion reserves in 2028. We have done that in 1 year. Because of that, for the first time in about 3 decades, the Ghana cedi has annually appreciated against its trading currencies. 40% appreciation in your adult life. When do you recall something like that happen?
I've been unsure if this is organic and this will stay.
Very organic. 40%. We have brought the retail dollar rate from about 16 cedis to now below 12 cedis. Interbank from about 15, 14.7 to now 10.4.
The Fitch prediction was that we would have gotten to
15.5.
15.5.
They are all shocked.
By the end of
even the IMF is shocked. And because of that, our external debt has reduced by over 100 billion cedis. External debt. That is why debt to GDP has moved from 726 billion cedis, constituting 61% of GDP as of December 2024, to now 620 billion cedis, constituting 45% of GDP. Debt servicing. Even before I talk about debt servicing, let's stay here. Lending rates, or even like the Ghana reference rate, which is the benchmark for lending, for loans, has reduced from 28% to 15.9%. Something, you understand? Inflation has declined for 11 consecutive months. 11 consecutive months. From 23.8% to 6.3%. Food inflation declined from 27.8% to 6.6%. And according to AGRA, food prices have reduced by averagely 32%. If you look at debt servicing this year to last year, 2025, external debt, the Ministry of Finance had to service $3.6 billion, $1.8 billion to IPPs, and $1.8 billion to Eurobond, debt holders.
Actually now
about 3.6. You see,
2.5 billion right now.
That money, if we were servicing it at 16 to the dollar, which is what we took, or even assume that, because if we had not done this, the dollar would have crossed 25 cedis, like Dennis Miracles Abuaje said. If we had not done what we did. And so it would have even been far more. But even if you peg it at 16, as compared to what we are doing now, we've saved over 16 billion cedis on debt servicing. This is real saving to the taxpayer.
Does this include the $709 million
yes,
that has just been
because
paid?
Because that $709 million,
which the state has saved 3.5 billion
yes,
Ghana cedis.
Because that's $709 million. The finance minister would have had to convert cedis at a higher exchange rate than now.
Yes.
So that difference is what I'm telling you.
At least if we are using the Fitch,
yes,
we would have had to convert to 15.5. But today,
and the saving is still more than 10 billion.
Today it's at 10.1.
Exactly.
Yeah, but benchmark actually to budget.
Even benchmark it at 11. The saving is more than 10 billion cedis.
Okay.
Pick the import bill. As at September, $11.8 billion. If importers had to import $11.8 billion worth of goods at averagely 16 cedis to the dollar, and mind you, 16 is even conservative because without this program, dollar would have been 25.
It's going to be around 18 billion.
But you pick even the 11.8 at 16 as compared to 11, the saving is over 50 to 60 billion cedis to consumers. You understand? So this is not a joke. The impact has been a significant national economic gain. The cost is infinitesimal. But when we say cost, when we say losses, what are we talking about? Sometimes people think that Bank of Ghana has taken taxpayers' money, gone to buy gold, sold the gold, and we lost $240 million. Somebody has stolen money or somebody has mismanaged. That is not it. When we say G4R losses, let me explain to you. From 1957 to date, gold is bought in the gold market in Ghana at retail market exchange rate.
You said that already.
The euphemism for black market. Now, Bank of Ghana and Gold Board, we are buying gold from a non-bank market, which is a market made up of small-scale miners and gold dealers. And when we go, we have to buy the gold at that retail market exchange rate. Gold Board has sought to bring it to interbank. But anytime we peg the price to interbank, we realize that prices in neighboring countries like Cote d'Ivoire become higher than ours by, say, 600 cedis per pound. So all the gold goes to Cote d'Ivoire. And sometimes smugglers are offering prices at informal retail rates. So your interbank rate will not get you any gold. So when we buy the gold at the retail market exchange rates, and Bank of Ghana gets the dollar proceeds, the accountant and auditor comes to audit their books. The accountant must now convert the dollar inflow into cedis. The dollar is not really converted into cedis, but for accounting purposes, it must be converted into cedis because Bank of Ghana's books are in cedis. When the accountant is converted, the accountant says, my hands are tied. I know that the acquisition rate of the dollar is retail market exchange rate. But by law, because you are the central bank, I can only convert the dollars at interbank or BOG rate, which is always lower. So that creates an exchange rate translational difference. Because Bank of Ghana is acquiring dollars at retail market rate and converting at interbank for accounting purposes. That is 97% of the losses people are talking about. Then number two, let me tell you the second part of the loss. Bank of Ghana says, by policy design, I want to buy gold at spot to fend off smugglers and make sure that what happened in 2021, when gold output, export output declined from 39.3 tons to 3.4 tons, I don't have that situation on my hand. I need the dollars. Because of that, Bank of Ghana incurs about 2.3% cost. What does this cost? Offtake discount, which under NPP used to be at some point 2.2, came down to 1.25 in late 2024, and now Governor CMA has brought it to 1.1, the offtake discount. Gold board fees, and of course, purity losses. Purity loss basically means that as a country, since time immemorial, we don't do the golden standard of assay to determine purity of gold. What we do is SRF, which is only indicative. But when the international buyer buys the gold, he must subject it to the golden standard of fire assay. That creates a purity difference, and that can cause a loss. That is what we are talking about here. So an accountant is right to pick that and say, from a pure, plain vanilla, accounting perspective, I mean, you've made an accounting loss. But it is, like I said, an intentional, strategic, economic policy cost for superior benefits. Now, is there any way to reduce it? Emphatically, yes. Because we are not throwing our hands in the space and say, oh, this is policy design. So at all times, we will incur costs. But first of all, let me even acknowledge that if what the NPP and the IMF are saying...
No, please, this was
what I was told, that I will be giving you 1 hour for a one-on-one.
He's insisting on the 1 hour.
And I started at 8:50. I'm 7 minutes away from my 1 hour. So let me finish. I'll sit here and listen to you.
I'm going to get them.
So
the rest of the time, you guys...
It's for you when we are closing at 12, senior. So
no, we have 3 other topics. That's the issue.
Okay.
Unless one counts.
There are not 3.
Only one
other, apart from this one.
Okay.
What's the point I was even making? They've distorted my... I was saying, what to reduce? Yes. You see, under the G4R program, cost is the necessary evil for national economic stability. And the BOG is not a good trading organization, so it doesn't hedge. Okay, it doesn't engage in hedging and all that. So it is unable to take advantage of potential increases in world market price. But under the new gold board model, which we are rolling out in 2026, where gold board will be the buyer and also the seller, because currently we are not the seller. BOG is the seller. We are just their agents, and we are paid fees for that. Okay, we will be able to go into effective trading to be able to take advantage of potential increases in global prices. Aside that, the BOG is having a very important conversation with fiscal authorities. You're talking about the finance ministry. Now look, as central bank, we know that this is our role. This is our work. We need to do this. But let's have some burden sharing about the cost, because the cost is a necessary evil for the economic stability that we all need, which you, the fiscal authorities, even benefit more from. So can you absorb the cost in your budget. That conversation is going on. That has been the IMF's main concern. Look, people claim, sometimes create the impression that is very unfair to the IMF. They create the impression as though the IMF thinks that what we are doing is wrong. This is what the IMF said at paragraph 32 of their staff report. They actually commended us. This is what they said. Very important. The BOG has significantly strengthened its reserve buffers. The scaling up of the domestic good purchase program has allowed the BOG to miss its program reserve accumulation objectives, reaching the 2028 reserve coverage target in 2025. This is IMF. But however, they come to paragraph 36 and says that the program poses risk to the financial sustainability of the BOG because for the IMF, as a central bank, being the last bank of resort, they don't want this cost to negatively impact the books of the central bank. So they think that fiscal authorities must come in. And that conversation is ongoing. Of course, the Minister for Finance must also find a space for that in the budget. So that is all there is. But lastly, in concluding, I realize I have just 4 minutes. When you hear people talk, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, somebody has made a loss of $240 million. He could have built 12 Agenda 11 hospitals.
Correct.
Then you ask them, how much losses did you make under that same program? How much? They can put that table too on the screen for viewers to see. I have given you this is from the Bank of Ghana, all G4R losses since its inception. Am I equalizing to score political points? No. Am I comparing losses? No. I am exposing the duplicity and hypocrisy of a group of people who know that G4R is not for profit and yet are kicking the fuss about losses. People who themselves made more losses. So let's calculate how many hospitals their losses could have built. In 2022, they only bought 76 kg of gold. They made a loss of 74 million cedis. In 2023, they bought only 24.8 tons of gold. They made a loss of 2.1 billion cedis. In 2024, they bought only 45.3 tons of gold. They made a loss of 4.8 billion only last year. 4.8 billion. So Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, tell us how many Agenda 111 hospitals your loss in 2024, which is 4.8 billion, could have built. 2025, we have bought higher volumes, 103 from 45, more than double. Look at the value, more than times 3, from $3.1 billion to $10.8 billion. And we are saying our loss will be determined, our cost will be determined after audit. But let's assume your $300 million is correct. That is $3 billion. Is that not a reduction despite higher volumes, despite higher prices? If you bought 103 tons like we have done, and brought in $10.8 billion, you would have made maybe times 10 the losses you posted last year. So please, we are saying that let's approach the discussion from a position of objectivity. What the Johnson Esiaman-led BOG has done, and I don't like to give myself plaudits, you understand? But what they have done is something worth commending. They have done what in 8 years. What somebody did in 8 years, they have done it in 1 year.
Yeah.
And everybody can feel the benefit. Taxpayers have been saved money. Right. Cost of living has come down. Living conditions have improved. And then you see people saying somebody has made this loss.
Thank you very much. A couple more.
Ghana, the IMF and Belief Bryce Simons.
Thank you.
Now to Kabiru, I'll do that in 5 minutes, and I promise you that. Number one, I'm rushing to. When I'm done, I'm done. You've spoken over 30 minutes, so let me finish. Kabiru says here they don't do basic checks and they come and sit on radio and embarrass themselves. He says that this issue about Bawa Rock has come up because Sammy Gyamfi and Gold Board didn't comply with Section 42 by publishing contracts and whatever. If you have been doing research, you would have known that immediately we awarded Bawa Rock a license, we published it on our website. Go and check. Then he says that
contract is different from license.
You see something, this guy.
Contract is different.
Please, for those of you watching, let's give you proper legal company law education. A company, please, when you were speaking, I didn't interject you once. Bawa Rock was registered on 14th January 2025. This is a certificate.
2015.
2015, this is it.
Yeah.
Bower Rock then changed its name from Bower Rock Limited to Bower Rock Company Limited on 20th day of November 2023.
Correct.
This is it. A change of name is not the same as change of objects. Please don't embarrass yourself. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah goes to do a presser, runs away from newspaper, sends you, and you come and embarrass yourself about things you don't know. Now let's come. Then he says that Bower Rock has been given a monopoly even though Gold Board was supposed to be a state monopoly. You didn't read in the Gold Board Act that the Gold Board, even though it's a state monopoly, the sole buyer and seller of all gold. The Gold Board is supposed to exercise that power through its licensed buyers. Don't you know that? Or you read that because Gold Board is a monopoly, then Gold Board itself as a state agency will nationalize gold trading, set up offices and buy all gold, and take out all private licensees out.
Thank you, Sammy.
You don't understand? I'm wrapping up. Then he says that the losses I spoke about are fake.
Right. That's substantial.
I'm giving you my chat with somebody that I will not mention.
Okay.
In fact, I can mention. I think I have it. I mentioned that this is from the governor. This is from the governor of the central bank.
We document. We document.
Hold on. You that you don't even know simple things. You don't even know the difference between the change of name.
The page number you took us to spoke about the gold for oil.
Yes,
not for the gold
for reserves.
And gave figures that are not the same as the gold.
Whose number is this? Something.
It's not true. Something is not true. I have the report.
Am I right?
I have the report.
These are the losses. Please.
It's not right.
This is from the governor.
Yes.
Okay.
2023 losses. G4O, gold for oil, 1.1 billion cedis. Gold for reserve, 973 million. Total,
so they are separate.
2.15 billion. They are all under G4R.
Okay.
Then you come to, they are all under domestic gold purchase program. Yes. Then you come to 2024 losses. G4O, gold for oil, 667.7 million cedis. Gold for reserves, 4.1 billion.
All right.
And you are here. Okay. You are supposed to know these basic things.
Sammy, don't.
And then finally, I'm not attacking them. I'm only expressing surprise.
No.
Expressing surprise. You see, he says that he checked our financials and 60%.
I'll come back to you.
He says that 60% of our fees come from the BOG. So we are bleeding the BOG. Where was 60% of the fees of PMMC coming from? When we took office, PMMC had a 2023 good purchase agreement with BOG. The fees that PMMC under you, NPP, were receiving is the same fees Gold Board has received without even an increment of 1 cedi. You don't know this? And you're on news file embarrassing yourself. And you are talking that you're talking about the fact that an auction is opaque. I will not even waste my time on this people. I will not banter.
It's okay. Hold on. Sammy, you have done 16 minutes extra.
Who said that to review a policy means to cancel it?
Hold on.
I will not banter with that. It tells you how the things. To review a policy means to cancel it.
And once again,
responsibility to
let me repeat.
Bit much that we are doing, Amame. Comment section. I Penyah Block Media, Accra.